one thing. I want everybody to look at me. I'm going to pass it to coin after I say one thing. That's a W. Let's eat one. Let's eat one. That's a W. How many people want to eat a W tonight? How many eat a W tonight?
All right, well, Brian's going to tell everyone I went 0-3 this week, so that's how we're just going to start the episode. So we usually say our records at the end of the episode if you don't always stay and watch or listen. But we pick 3 different, team bets. And what was I going into this week? I was 30 and
you were
19.
30, 19 and 1, I think, somewhere right around there.
And I went 0-3. That's awesome.
Yep. Not a good week. And then I went 3-0, so.
It's all right. And the Eagles lost, so it's
and the Eagles
better.
Lost. Which we'll talk about that. I want to get your thoughts on that a little. We can do that later, though. But
anyway, how you doing, man?
Good. I'm doing good. It was a great great weekend of football. I think it was one of the better wild card weekends that I can remember in recent. But I feel like it happens a lot, right? It's recency bias, and you're watching them, and everyone's like, games, right? But everyone's like, it's the greatest. But even those 2 bad games, they were 1-score games going to the 4th at least. Chargers, Patriots, 6-3. I mean, it was terrible. It was a god awful game to watch. It wasn't super entertaining, but it was a close game until the 4th quarter. And then same with Steelers, Houston. That one might have been worse from a production standpoint. Man, that was tough to watch. And then obviously somehow the Texans win by 24 after being up by 1 point for the entirety of the game until 10 minutes left in the 4th quarter. So, but overall, fantastic weekend of football. It was a lot of fun. It made me crave playoff football again. I enjoyed it so much. I need to get back. I need my team to get back to that stage. So that was going through my mind.
Yeah, I can see that. When I was watching the Eagles play, I was, tell you what, man, dude, let's just start here.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think the Eagles' issue is? Because they win a Super Bowl, they look unbelievable last year. I understand Lane Johnson wasn't there, but the offense all year looked like they were playing with 10 guys.
Yeah, I think so. And this is as weird as it is. This is kind of what the cycle of the Eagles has been the last 4 or 5 years. They make it to the Super Bowl, and then they start off hot the next year, and then kind of flame out towards the end of the season, losing the wild card round to the Bucs. And then they win the Super Bowl again, go 14-3, go win the Super Bowl last year, and then same thing this year. I mean, they started out solid, right? They never felt like world beaters this year, but they were winning the games, and they're Super Bowl, they're Super Bowl champions. They're the defending champions, so you kind of keep that in the back of your head. And then they flame out at the end of the year again. I do think offensive coordinator is an issue. They've already addressed 100%. That. They've already let him go. And from the sounds of it, sounds like him and Sirianni are best buds, and maybe probably wasn't qualified. That's what's going around, is he wasn't qualified for the job in the first place. I don't. What are you things, reading, but apparently they're super close. They're best friends. They're that's why he's still on the team. He's been demoted, but he's still on the Eagles. He's still a coach for the Eagles. He's just been demoted. They're keeping a job for him on the staff, which is weird when you get fired as an OC. If I'm him, I don't want to get demoted and have someone else come in and step in as OC at the same team. Right?
Yeah.
That's weird. So I do think offensive coordinator issue was a big issue. I don't know if you saw some of the breakdowns of their last drive that, I think Dan Orlovsky did it. There's a few people, if you follow him on X or Twitter, you can see some of that. Seems like they ran a lot of the same plays over and over again on that last drive.
They only had 4 plays.
They had 4 plays. Yeah, they had 4 plays. They ran the same play back to back to Devonta Smith, that little where it worked the first time for 12 yards, and they tried to run it again.
It's like I'm playing college football 2K26, and I'm just all right, let's run the Texas route again, and
let's run the go-to play that I know
but then again, that's why do you practice? What's the point of practicing if you can't find what's your best play? And it's just a a deep post over the middle to Dallas Goedert, not even to your best receiver.
Yeah, they ran 4 birds like 3 or 4 times on that last drive. I obviously think that's a part of it. You need some more creativity in offense, especially with the playmakers they have. Like, I know they had some injuries along the O-line. The O-line wasn't as good as it was in previous years, but you still have Saquon. You still have A.J. Brown. You still have Devonta Smith. You have Dallas Goedert. Like, had
Jalen Hurts is solid enough. I mean,
and
he won a Super Bowl.
That's where I'm going. Is like, I've never been the biggest Jalen Hurts fan. I know you definitely weren't until last year. I had to get you on board with Jalen Hurts last year.
Well, I mean, he won a Super Bowl, so you have to hop on board.
Sure. Like, he is a Super Bowl winning quarterback, and I completely like. I don't think he's a bad quarterback, but
no,
I do think there are some limitations maybe to his game. And I know that was also circulating was, hey, we can't run the offense we want to run because we don't have the quarterback who can, get us in the right positions and run certain plays, which again, who knows how true that stuff is, right? Like, it's all speculation, and that could be leaked from, offensive coordinator who's getting fired because he wants to save his job. Like, who knows, right?
Yeah.
But they just fell out of sync all year. I think the A.J. Brown thing, like, was a distraction. Yeah. At some point that's going to cause issues. Like, it's kind of been a distraction for 2 or 3 years now. I think it went overboard this year.
I've been a big A.J. Brown defender. And,
you have been.
And I think I'm done defending him.
If you're going to kind of give that attitude, put up that stink, you can't drop 3 balls that are in your hands in a playoff game. Like, you can't.
All 3 of those balls would have won the game too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
With how the game turned out, those 3 drops would have pretty much decided the game. I understand more stuff happened. I mean, I don't know if you watched Reed Blankenship all game, but he was like the worst defender of all time.
Yeah, he struggled. He had a rough game. Yeah.
That
not the flea flicker, but the one where Juwan Jennings threw the touchdown to Chris McCaffrey. I don't know what he was doing on that play.
No one does.
He bit on Juwan Jennings when he was loading. Like, he watched Christian McCaffrey run right by him and still. It just didn't make any sense.
Not only did he bite, he saw 4 other people in front of him bite.
That's what I mean.
Like, and he followed.
It's not your. Again, I don't know the responsibilities of these. Like, I'm not on the defense, obviously, but it's covered.
You can tell once CMC caught that. And you saw Blankenship's reaction. You could tell he's like, "Oh, I fucked up."
Yeah, he's like, "Oh shit." Yeah. What are your thoughts? Like, what do you think?
Eagles,
I wanted to get your thoughts. Being an Eagles fan, like, how do you feel going into next year?
Honestly, I feel good. I think it was an OC issue. Defense is great. I like Sirianni. It's just they were playing high school football on the offensive side, and it's like me complimenting them.
Mm-hmm.
That's like their offense was super basic. It was super slow. If you listen to Tom Brady, he was trying everything he could not to say, "What the fuck is Jalen Hurts doing?"
Yeah.
He was like, "Why?" He just
kept
saying,
good.
"Why?" Who, Tom Brady?
Yeah, he was really good in that game.
Yeah, Tom Brady's killed it this year.
Yeah.
Everyone who's hating on him as a broadcaster, he was killing it.
He did a good job this year.
Tom Brady the whole time was like, "Why are they going so slow? Like, you're trying to get momentum," and they just kept killing momentum because whatever offense they were running, it's almost like God. What was OC's name? I already forgot.
Oh, who the Eagles OC?
Yeah.
Oh fuck, what's his name?
Patullo. Yeah.
Kevin Patullo.
It's like it was like there's like some kind of delay in the mic every time he was trying to call in a play. It was just wild. But I think it was purely coaching. I think they have a good team. I know the cap situation with AJ Brown is it's like $78 million in dead cap. And that's the thing is, like, he kind of has an untradeable contract, and he also has like an uncuttable contract. I don't think you cut him. I think you just trade him for 65 cents in the dollar and just be like, you know what, whatever. We're still a great team. We'll take a third round pick for him. I mean, there's got to be a team who's desperate for, like the Bills. Like, the Bills might have some space, or the Raiders, if they draft a quarterback, they want to bring in, some like veteran receiver for their quarterback, something along those lines. But there's got to be another team that needs a guy like AJ Brown.
So I just pulled up his contract breakdown, and it's a $72.5 million dead cap hit if they were to cut him.
Yeah.
Next year it goes down to 27, so it's a lot more palatable to do it next year, obviously. And like we talked about this a little bit. This is, I think I sent you a breakdown of like how much dead cap the Eagles have in the next, through the next year. This is where like the super ultra aggressive signing all these guys is great when you're in your window, because you give yourself the best chance you load up your roster. At some point, it is going to need to get paid, right? Or you have to continue re-signing them, giving them new contracts. But at some point, the bill is going to come due. So I am curious what happens with them over the next couple of years, because they have this with 3 or 4, 5, 6 different guys where they have this big dead cap hit, 2028, 2029. So I'm curious how they do it. I mean, the Browns have dealt with it for a ton of years. So
I understand that, but it's not like this guy's like a wasted asset. He's just his attitude's getting in the way. He's still a great receiver. He's still at the peak of his powers. I mean, obviously he had a bad game, but the whole team had a bad game. Mm-hmm. And I think maybe a new voice in the offensive side of the locker room could help that. Some kind of new leadership.
If you had to
pick. Let's see.
I feel like you need someone out. Yeah, you need someone outside. They can't. No more hires from internally. I feel like you need an outside.
You need to bring a new voice in. But I think McDaniel is too much of a personality. Even though it'd be cool, but it would almost give me like the Eagles' dream team kind of vibe. Where
him and Jalen feel like they wouldn't maybe mesh very well.
Yeah, I'm more thinking about him and Sirianni. I feel like Jalen's pretty easygoing. He's always just like, whatever, I'm here, I'm going to do the work. And there's this weird agenda that, like, obviously it looks weird, but I feel like the media and the ESPN and all these like talking heads have this perception of the Eagles where like it's just like a drama, like a reality show kind of thing. And I don't think it's really like that. I think they're blowing it up. Just because there are a lot of personalities, like you have Sirianni, Big Dom, AJ Brown, Jalen Hurts, who never says really anything besides quoting like the Bible or some kind of like motivational something.
Gandhi.
You never hear anything from Devonta Smith.
I like Devonta Smith.
Yeah, I mean, you just like see, that's what I mean. And next year, what if Devonta Smith is like, I wish I just got the ball a bit more? Then ESPN would run with that, but. Basically, what I'm saying is I'm talking myself into Mike McDaniel. I think it'd be good. He'd probably be the best OC in the league. I wouldn't mind Monken if he doesn't follow Harbaugh. Who else is up for jobs? Oh, Cliff Kingsbury if he doesn't get a head coaching job. That'd be a good one. The dude from the Rams. God, what's his name?
Oh, is it another LaFleur? Is he at the Rams?
Who?
Are you talking about their pass game coordinator?
Yeah.
The guy who's getting the head coaching jobs?
Yeah.
What's his name? Yeah.
He's like he's
I know who you're talking about.
It's something House, right?
Nate Shieldhouse.
Shieldhouse, yeah.
Yeah.
He'd be cool. But then again, like a lot of these guys are like, if Kingsbury comes in and kills it, he's gone. If McDaniel comes in and kills it, he's probably gone. If Shieldhouse comes in, he's gone. So I'm trying to think of a guy who would come in and just be like a Matt Nagy type, where he'd just come in and because there's been 5 different offensive coordinators the last 5 years.
And that's what's funny is like it's been for different reasons, right? Like a couple of them have been fired, but a couple of them have left for head coaching jobs. So it's just interesting that it's been very hit or miss.
Anyway, we've done way too much on the Eagles, but congrats on the 49ers.
Yeah, no,
the George Kittle thing sucks. But
real quick on the 49ers, like, what a coaching job this year.
Yeah,
with all the
they need to move. They need to move that field because the electrical field kind of thing is just destroying all their ligaments.
I agree.
It's also
That's
memes
a conspiracy
about
theory I can get behind for sure.
Yeah, is it much of a conspiracy theory?
Yeah.
Because have
you seen the trees? Yeah, as I say, did you see the trees?
I was about to say it. The trees are all dead.
The trees are dead.
The trees are all dead. Anyway, yeah.
But unbelievable job by the 49ers this entire year. The injuries they've dealt with. I mean, George Kittle going down again. They're dealing like they're starting linebackers like 5, 6, and 7 on the year. Fred Warner might come back. It sounds like it would be probably for the Super Bowl, not for anything before that. Maybe
no, it'd be
the
for
NFC
the
Championship game, but
NFC Championship, yeah.
NFC Championship game. But yeah, it's just unbelievable. Like, and that's where that's where your best coaches in the NFL are. They can take teams to the playoffs, win these kind of games in the playoffs, even when they're not 100%, and they find ways to win. They pull out trick plays, in order to get the offense going. Like they get creative, and I'm bummed the Eagles lost, but I've enjoyed watching the 49ers more this year than I thought I would. Brock Purdy's also been great this year. So
yeah, and if you can't put up 20 points against the 5th, 6th, and 7th linebacker for the 49ers, then I don't know what we're doing. And they didn't have Brandon Ayuk. Trent Williams did play. George Kittle leaves in the first quarter. Demarcus Robinson looked like the best receiver in the league.
It's nuts, yeah.
So
he had like 300 yards all year.
It's insane.
It's insane.
He had 220 yards going into that game.
Nuts.
Yeah.
Nuts.
Is there any like big game you know what we should do? Because like the Panthers look good. I'm trying to think of these games. Panthers look good.
I think we need to talk about Green Bay, Chicago a little bit.
Okay. Okay, go ahead. What do you want to talk about?
Another playoff collapse for the Packers to your division rival, the Bears. Like,
yeah,
it's tough, and I'm curious what they do with Ford. It sounds like they're going to do a contract extension. Like there was the whole deal of, they were going to potentially, before the game started, is going to be an extension. Then there was talk about, maybe you actually get fired because this is the 3rd straight season in a row that they've lost a playoff game that they probably should have won, in heartbreaking fashion at that too. And he's a great coach, but like at some point, sometimes we talked about it last week. Sometimes like something's not meshing and you need to go your separate ways. I think it'd be stupid to fire him personally. Like I think he should. I don't see what the benefit would be to fire him, especially this time, like the coaching cycle that we have this year. I don't know if we're going to find a better coach out there. But great comeback by the Bears. Like I'm in Chicago, obviously, like the city, like it reminds me of the Bengals Super Bowl run. I know they're only in the divisional round, but like everyone around here is like, because they haven't won it forever. Everyone is like, you watched the game last night? Like that was awesome. Did you see the game? Like all of my neighbors, everyone is freaking out. So it's kind of fun. It's kind of cool to see. Yeah, it's kind of cool to see that buzz again. Unbelievable. Caleb Williams, like I can't get a read on him, man. Like we were going back and forth about it during the game. He looks terrible at certain athletes, but then he makes some of the most unbelievable plays you've ever seen in your entire life. So like
he's never played 4 quarters of football. He plays either the first half or the second half, and one looks horrible, the other one looks good, and you're like, "What? Who are you?" But real quick on the Packers, they're losing. They're losing they've lost 2 of their best players. Tucker Kraft, who they're probably their number 1 option when they're throwing the ball, and is probably a good run protector. I'm not really sure. And then Micah Parsons not playing. I mean
they were 9-3-1 before Micah Parsons went down. Like, and they ended up 9-8-1. They lost 5 in a row after he went down. Like, I think that shows you that the trade they made was
smart.
It was worth it to make that trade. I agree with you. That's what happens. Sometimes injuries, like it's just not your year.
Yeah. You don't fire a coach because you had bad luck with injuries.
Correct. Yeah, I agree. I completely agree. I think it'd be stupid to let him go.
And it's kind of like what Aaron Rodgers said. He's like, you have all these coaches who are just thrown out because they have a few bad seasons. And I think about this when we talk about the Bengals and like Zach Taylor. You can't just give up on guys so quick. Like I hate the quick turnaround and all these different coaching changes all the time because you have one bad season. Obviously, we're not in locker rooms and we're not around it. And like the message might not be getting out, but the owners, I feel like the owner GM's job should be like, listen, this is the guy. No one's above this guy. We picked this guy. And if it's, if you miss the playoffs 5 years in a row and you have Joe Burrow. Like, if they miss the playoffs again next year, then like, what are we doing?
Yeah, it's time. Yeah.
But you have to give these guys time. And I think LaFleur would be the best candidate, the second best candidate.
He'd be the best. I think he would be the best candidate if he's on the market. I know Harbaugh and Stefanski. Like, Harbaugh still maybe just because he's done it for so long. But at the same time, that could be a bad. Like we talked about it last week. Like Pete Carroll could be a bad thing. Like sometimes those kind of coaches, right? But like sometimes those kind of coaches who are more culture setters, more so than like X's and O's. Sometimes it doesn't work in a different place, right? Like it's all different. But yeah, to your point about the coaches in general, like that's where I keep going back and forth with Zach Taylor is like he's only had Burrow for 3 healthy seasons. They went to the Super Bowl, AFC Championship game, and then they put up one of the best offenses in NFL history, but the defense was a historically bad defense, and they still went 9-8. Like it's not like they had a losing season. And then he's gotten hurt the other 3 years, and that's when they've been bad. It's the 3 years he's been hurt. So it's like I'm with you. I go back and forth. I do think you need new blood at some point, but to your point, the message, Burrow loves him. That's the only reason he's still there is because Burrow said, I want him to be my coach. Like, he's got to be doing something, right? But it sucks. It's like, what do we know as fans? I think we crave a change. Sometimes, like, when you go through, like, you're a Packers fan, you've gone through, like, so many playoff losses in a row, you just want something to change. Like, you need that, like, adrenaline rush of, like, okay, we got something new. But it's a gamble, right? It's all a gamble.
Yeah, and people also hate change, so let's try to pick one. All right, so the Bears, how much do you believe in them? Are you picking them against the Rams?
I don't know yet. I need to look at it. I think it's 4.5 point spread. Yeah, I picked them. I picked them to beat the Packers. It didn't look great for the first half there.
I almost texted you saying that you're a curse to football fans.
No, I mean it's I do think this magical run they're on where they come back in the second halves of all these games, like at some point it's gonna run out, right? Like you can't count on that every single game. Like at some point you're gonna have to put 2 good, especially this late in the playoffs. You're playing the best teams in the NFL. You're gonna have to put 2 good halves together in 100%. Order to win these games and win the Super Bowl. So I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but like Caleb, like, man, that 4th and 8 throw he had was unbelievable. Like to keep that game alive.
He's got the arm strength. He's got it all, man.
So I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I'm probably going to stay away from that game, if I'm being honest, for our picks this weekend.
Interesting.
But it was good to see him win. And like, I love Luther Burden. Like, I think he's going to be a stud. Like Rome Odunze hasn't looked great, but he's coming off an injury. Their whole line is really good. I think Luther Burden's going to be their wide receiver 1 in a year or 2. Like, I think he's going to
really over Rome.
Yeah, I think he's going to. I think so. He looks better than Rome. I don't know. I mean, I know Rome again was hurt for like 7 weeks. He's coming off injury, but I liked Luther coming out of college, and I think you need to get rid of DJ Moore. I think his contract. Like, I know he had a good game last week, but with his contract, and that's a offseason conversation, but. Defense is bad, though. Defense is not good. That's where I worry with them against the Rams is defensive side of the ball. They can't get pressure on the quarterback.
Yeah, the Rams are good on offense and good on defense.
I know. But the Rams have played all these, like, Panthers. Everyone thought they were going to blow the Panthers out. Panthers play great against them.
Panthers have their number, man. They beat them in the regular season.
Right.
Maybe it's just a cross-country trip.
Arizona. Like last game of the regular season, Arizona gave them a fight until the 4th quarter. They were losing that game until the 4th quarter against Arizona in Week 18. Like,
well, that's why
there's something about I know, but there's something about the Rams. Like, I still think if I still had to pick a team right now, it'd probably be the Rams. So I guess that gives you my answer for who I would take. But there's something about them, man, that just like they always end up playing below the standards that I expect.
At least the last of their competition is what you're trying to say.
Yes, correct. Yes. So I think it's gonna be a battle. It's gonna be freezing too. I think that feels like it's gonna be in the negatives this weekend. So it's gonna be cold. We'll see.
Yeah. I'll hint or spoiler. What are you hitting?
Sorry, I'm clicking lists. Yeah, sorry.
I picked the Rams at -3.5.
Okay.
Yeah, they're just a complete team, and yeah, but the Bears are frisky, man. They're like, I don't think they're gonna beat the Rams. And if they do beat the Rams, guess what? I don't think they're gonna beat the next team they play. And if they beat the next team they play, I don't think they're going to win the Super Bowl. If they win the Super Bowl, then I quit. So
that's fair. That's
just how it's going to be.
That's fair. Fun game though. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Okay. So Houston
Bills,
Steelers.
You want to do Houston Steelers? Which one do you want to do?
Let's finish with Bills Jags because that was the best game.
Yeah, that was my favorite game of the weekend. I mean, Houston Steelers. There's not much to say. Like, we can talk about Tomlin being. Maybe this is where we do the Tomlin conversation. It sounds like he was going to step down anyway, regardless of what was going to happen.
100%.
And I think it's time. You lose, your Steelers team. You lose 7 games in a row, 7 playoff games in a row. It's gone stale. Like, fans want it. I think it sounds like Tomlin wanted it for the last couple of years. He's been hinting at this, like, and he's not very happy.
Yeah.
God, they look terrible, man. The offense is just getting rid of the ball within, and I get why, because their offensive line isn't great, and Houston has a great defensive line. Everything's behind the line of scrimmage. They did throw a couple deep balls. DK Metcalf had a couple drops. Your big free agent signing for $33 million, which is insane when you think about it, that they traded a second-round pick and paid him $33 million.
Did I send you that meme?
You might have.
The meme of A.J. Brown and DK Metcalf, like, standing next to each other flexing, and they're both jacked.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And it said, like, the last thing the ball sees before it hits the ground.
Yes. This is hilarious. This is perfect for this weekend. And then, like, on top of it, it's salt in the wound that, George Pickens goes out and has an all-pro type season. He's second team all-pro this year. And it just... my takeaway from that game was Steelers need to rebuild. Like, I think it's great Tomlin decided to leave.
Yeah.
They can potentially trade him, which is even better for them. It's time to, TJ Watt.
Well, did you hear...
Go ahead.
Did you hear Schefter today? I think it was today. There was, like, everyone was asking, like, where's Tomlin going to go next? And he's like, hey, he ain't going anywhere. He's probably going to go, join some halftime, whatever,
TV network, CBS, whatever, pregame show. But yeah, so TJ Watt is making a shit ton of money. He's one of the highest paid players in the NFL. I think he's second highest behind Parsons. No show in the playoffs. He has 1 sack through 5 career playoff games. He's never won a playoff game. Like, I know it's not a quarterback, but he's 32 now. Like, might be time to move on.
Trade him.
Trade him. I would trade him to a contender who.
Trade him to the Texans.
Yeah, I don't know about the fucking Texans. My God, I don't know if they need anyone else. Like Bears or something though. Like Chicago would make a ton of sense.
Yeah. Green Bay.
Micah. Yeah, but then you're paying $100 million to your defensive ends. Jesus. But I just like, and we'll talk about more in the offseason, but Ramsey making a shit ton of money and he's 32, 33 years old. Cameron Hayes, like all pro season this year, but he's 37, 38. Like, these guys defense is old. Alex Highsmith is 29 is your other defensive end. Like, it's a super old team.
There's oldest team in the league, right?
Yeah. And the team that you have right now, like, you're not going to be picking in the top 5. Like, you're going to win games. Like, at some point you need to get a quarterback. You can't.
Who do you think they hire?
I think they're going to go. I think Brian Flores would make sense. He was in Pittsburgh last year or 2 years ago with Mike Tomlin. Like, I think they'll go one of those guys, another defensive hard-nosed type of coach. I think Saleh would make sense. Like, again, defense hard-nosed guy.
What about like Mike McCarthy?
God, I hope Mike. I just don't think I think Mike McCarthy's time in the end. I would be upset.
What do you mean? He's younger than Harbaugh
at this point. I know, but like,
that's wild.
I wouldn't want it. I wouldn't want it personally.
He's a Super Bowl winner.
I know he is.
He basically has the same resume as John Harbaugh.
He actually has a pretty similar resume to Mike Tomlin too.
Yeah.
Like, kind of keeps your team afloat, is never going to be bad. But that's what I mean. Don't you want something different? I would, if I was a Steelers fan, I would want to go for something different.
Oh yeah, like Jonathan Gannon or Mike McDaniel
I think is still a good coach.
I'm not saying I think Pat McAfee said today, you'd be pissed if you hired Mike McDaniel as your head coach. You'd be throwing a parade if he was your OC.
Yeah. I don't even be mad if he was my head coach, to be honest.
That's great. Well, it's because you have Zach Taylor right now and you don't really like him.
Sure. That's true.
But I wouldn't want him as my head coach.
But
after,
yes, I think reset.
What happened in Miami, but
hard reset for Pittsburgh. I think you need a top 5 pick.
Guy.
You need to get a quarterback. Yeah, you need to get a quarterback. And then you need Houston side.
Like for a guy like Harbaugh, real quick, for a guy like Harbaugh, McCarthy, and Tomlin, they need to go somewhere where like they already have a quarterback who's been in the league for more than 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like they can't go to like Harbaugh can't go to like the Raiders and be like, all right, we're rebuilding everything.
No, yeah,
that's why that's got to be like the young guy, like a Liam Cohen kind of guy.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's why he's looking at the Giants and Tennessee, because there's a year of tape on those 2 quarterbacks. Like I think that's why those are the 2 places he's looking at.
Tennessee is wild.
I'm surprised he has that much interest in Tennessee, unless he's just using them as leverage.
Or he's just like, hey, I love Nashville.
It could be. It could be it. It could be, hey, this is a place I want to live. I think I could live here. We have a young quarterback. We have some pieces. We have a lot of cap space. We have a high pick. But yeah, so Houston, CJ Stroud, yikes. It was a tough watch. It was a tough watch. It's amazing when you can win by 24.
I can say two.
Putting up
I'll say
one of the
two
worst.
good things about Houston.
Yeah, go ahead.
Their defense is awesome, and they have the best names out of any other team in the league.
Like,
can I read?
Players'
can
name?
I read?
Players' names? Yeah.
I was looking at their roster, and I was like, "Damn, these names are sick." All right, where are we at? Well, you'd probably so like Nico Collins. We're the defense. Lassiter, Alshire, Daniil Hunter, Stingley, EJ Speed. Then you'd probably like these Nick Chubb and Woody Marks.
It's crazy.
Anyway, just stuff like that. That's
crazy
stuff I look
thing
at.
To say. Yeah, crazy thing to say.
Well, and anyway, their defense is sick. CJ Stroud looks terrible. Also, they still have Joe Mixon on that team. What's going on with that?
Yeah, I saw something. It was like a Reddit, and this is where, and I think you can find a lot of. Well, there's like a lot of the Eagles stuff leaked on Reddit that ended up being true. Yeah, and like the Ravens stuff. But something along the lines of he did that like tightrope ankle surgery that like Tua was getting out of college. That like just to a lot of sprained ankles. It's for stability or whatever. He did it without he went to a rehab center without the team really like a non-sanctioned or something like that, and then he re-injured it, and then I don't know, it's like they needed to get another surgery or something along those lines. Like he kind of went against what the team wanted him to do, and it made it worse. And he re-injured it, and he was kind of out for the year. Something along those lines. So there was a little bit of crazy. I don't know if that's true or not. I probably shouldn't say that because I don't know if that's true or not. But that's
allegedly.
That's what I read. Because I was wondering the same thing. I was like, what the hell's going on? Like I was trying to find information on it. I was like,
you read it, but that allegedly happened.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, I know. But yeah,
yes.
Go ahead about Stroud. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
Yeah. No one really knows with Mixon, I guess is the point. Like it's weird and they're not really saying much. But yeah, I mean, I think I texted you, like everyone knows, he seems like he's drunk. He couldn't catch the snaps. He the moment looked too big for him. I don't know. But it's crazy that you can put up one of the worst quarterback performances I think a lot of us have ever seen in the playoffs, and your team went by 24. And I think that's a testament to how tough the Texas defense is. And they just they don't do anything crazy either. Like they rush forward. They do throw in a couple of blitzes, but that's how good they are, is that they can play kind of base defense and be unbelievably successful. And they don't miss tackles. They're the best tackling team I think I've ever seen. And maybe it's just because I watched the Bengals and they miss 25 tackles a game, but it's fun to watch. Good defenses play football. But then their offense stinks. So
they're like one of those teams. Yeah, their defense is one of those teams where they get coverage sacks and just sacks in general. And then also when you're playing probably the worst playoff team in the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. Yeah, I can't believe that
playoffs. Yeah, that doesn't help. That makes them look even better. That's why we were texting. You don't know who you're going to pick between the Patriots or Texans, and I think I think everyone's going to pick the Texans because of what they did last week and because Drake May had a little bit of a slow start, even though he still threw for over 260 yards and ran for 60 yards. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be like that game's going to be wild too. But the Texans, if CJ Stroud doesn't turn the ball over more than 2 times, they're probably going to win.
Yes, and that's what I think. I think I think that's why you could see it on the sidelines. Like that's why they were getting so frustrated. He fumbled 5 times. I know he picked them up. I think he picked up 3 of them.
Yeah,
but he fumbled 5 times and he threw a pick in the red zone. Like that's how you lose these playoffs. Like if they played anyone else, they lose that game. If they play anyone else, that's a loss. And that's he needs to take care of the ball. And
yeah, especially
against a New England team that I would consider probably the best. I would probably one of the top 2 teams in the AFC. I would put them in the Bills. So the teams left is probably the 2 best teams left in the AFC.
You hate Bo Nix, man.
I think the and we'll get there, but I think the Broncos are one of the worst 1 seeds in. And
NFL history.
Yes, I wasn't going to go that far, but I was going to say it, but I didn't want to say it. I do not believe in the Broncos. That's all I'll say.
No, we know. We know. You hate Bo Nix. It's fine.
But to go, I think this is a good transition over to Chargers, Patriots. How did you feel? What do you think about Herbert? The Herbert situation. Like, how do you feel about it?
He died on the field. I watched a man die on national television because that offensive line is so bad. They don't have Slater. They don't have Alt. Becton has to. They just got him from the Eagles.
Stinks. Yeah, he stinks.
I think he stinks because everyone else stinks. It's a unit.
Yeah.
It's
Bozeman, the center, is probably worst center in the NFL. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just they had to. Their offensive line was just so bad, and they don't have their first-round pick in Omarion Hampton. The receivers aren't that good.
The receivers are fine though. Like
they're fine. They're fine. I know they're fine, and I'm thinking they're not that good because Justin Herbert doesn't have any time to throw the ball, and that guy's tough, man. Like,
yeah, I
think Herbert's really good. I don't think he's. I understand how people talk about him, like him and Joe Burrow are on the same level. People talk about him like that. I'm not saying that, so relax. Are you good?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Are you okay? Okay. People talk about him like that. I don't talk about him like that. I think he's a tier below, but also he's had nothing, and all he does is get hit.
Yeah, so I kind of agree. Like, I think he's kind of been put in that top 5 category just based on and I think coming in the year, a lot of people had him, on potential, and that's why the joke is if man, right? Like he's the if man. If he had this, if he had this, if he had this, you haven't seen that?
I've never heard that, and I'm gonna start saying that.
Yes, his nickname is if man because if we had this, or if I had a better receiver, or if I had if I was on this team, we win a Super Bowl, and they haven't won a playoff game, right? They're 0-3 in the playoffs, with him as quarterback. I do think. And we've talked about this with Caleb Williams. Like, I do think he struggles layering the ball. Like, I think he has a cannon of an arm, and I think he just uses it too much. Like, I think there's certain times and places where you don't need to throw the ball a million miles an hour. Like, you need to throw a little touch.
He uses his cannon too much, is what you're saying.
Like no, it's not what I'm saying. He throws a fastball, I think, more often than he needs to. Who
would you rather have, Caleb Williams or Justin Herbert?
Herbert. I'd still rather have Herbert.
Yeah.
I'd still rather have Herbert. But
if he had it, I know here we go if man again. But if his offensive line was healthy, he wouldn't. Dude, that guy, man. I was watching that game. I'm like, oh my god.
All I'm gonna say, and like a little bit of, I agree. The offensive line's terrible. It was like their entire offensive line is rated out as bottom 5 at their positions.
Yeah.
I do think he missed a few opportunities in this game though early on before it really got out of control, and he was like, a lot of the sacks happened in the second half. I just think he didn't trust it. I think and I think that's what happens when you're used to your line not being good for a prolonged period of time. You get sped up in your reads. You feel pressure that isn't really there, and I think that's what caused him. They hurried some throws, escaped pockets a little bit too quickly.
Yeah, saw some
took
ghosts.
His head down a little too much. Correct. And brought his eye level down, wasn't When he was breaking the pocket, he wasn't looking downfield. On the first drive, he had Ladd
Oh.
McConkey when he was breaking out of the pocket, wide open for a touchdown. He just didn't look for him. But Ladd McConkey's like by himself, like throw me the fucking ball. So like they missed opportunities, right? But I get why. Like to your point, the offensive line's so bad that it's harder to play that way. I do think he's a great quarterback. They need to figure it out. They need to stay healthy, and
something's off.
He's got to not put a dud up in the playoffs. Like that's going to stick with you for a little bit. And I think that's also part of it is he had threw 4 picks last year in the playoffs. He had that coming into this year. And I think that eats at you a little bit. I think 100%. These guys know their public perception, and I think it's similar to Lamar. He knows his public perception in the playoffs, and I think you add pressure to yourself, and it's hard sometimes. So, I think he'll be fine. I think the Chargers will be fine. But go get some linemen.
It's like the LeBron. It's like the LeBron thing. Until he got there, he didn't get there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And everyone was saying he was great in the regular season. Peyton Manning. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Dude, ball, man.
Thanks,
that's
man.
great. People are 100% gonna look at your background and be like, "Oh, this guy only watches the Bengals," but it's fine.
No, I don't watch just the Bengals. I watch football.
Like you see, like I got like the Eagles here. I got the Cincinnati Monopoly here. I got the Russell Westbrook bobblehead there.
Hey, we're all allowed to have favorite teams, right?
I know. I'm just messing with you, man. It's funny because you got the Joe Burrow shrine behind you.
I do.
No, it looks good though. I like that you got it hung up.
I hung it up. I think it's gonna end up in the basement, but for right now,
you did?
I'll put it there. I figured it'd be good backdrop. Yeah, I figured it'd be a good backdrop.
It looks good. I like the backdrop looks good. Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, man.
I'm gonna get you like one of those big Bengals flags if you take that down to your basement and just hang that behind you, or just like one big NFL flag where it just says NFL like what the refs wear.
Yeah. Or who was that? Who's the actor that was wearing the NFL hat?
Oh yeah, Rob Lowe.
Rob Lowe, just a picture of Rob Lowe wearing the NFL hat and a banner.
Yeah.
But yeah, not to get back to football, but Patriots. I know we've been going back and forth.
About what?
I think it was a fine showing by Drake May. I think he was skittish to start. Couple bad throws, a couple fumbles.
Chargers have a good defense.
Chargers have a decent defense. First NFL playoff game. And that was my whole point with the Patriots all along was like, I need to see it. Like, playoffs are different than the regular season. Like, there's an added layer of pressure. And game shouldn't have been that close. Like, they're a better team than Chargers. But they pulled it out in the end, and he made that great throw. Was it to Hunter Henry? Like, that was an unbelievable touchdown throw he threw in the fourth quarter to kind of break the game open.
Yeah.
I think they're going to struggle with Houston's defense, though. So
everyone will.
I'm curious. Yeah, and exactly. That's the point. I'm curious to see how they do against Houston. But hey, I think it was a successful first start for Drake May in the playoffs. Like, you won your game, had a couple hiccups, pulled out.
That's a team.
Best
and that's a team you want to play against in the first round in your first playoff game. You don't want to.
Correct.
Like if they play like the Bills, that's like a divisional game. But if they play like
even
they play the Texans
or
Jacksonville. Yeah, like a threat on both sides. Like the Chargers were a little banged up. They have some momentum going into the next game. It's going to be a good game, and we have no belief in the Texans' offense, and their offensive line is even worse than the Chargers. So CJ Stroud might look like Justin Herbert. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, he looked worse than Justin Herbert, I think, last week, if I'm being honest, against Pittsburgh than Justin Herbert did. So
yeah. He like you said, he looked drunk.
Yes.
But speaking of the Jags, that game was insane.
Dude, I'm kind of bummed. I'm kind of bummed that they play each other in the first round. Like, I was excited for the matchup, but like in hindsight, with what we saw from like the Texans and the Chargers and kind of the Patriots a little bit, like I think those are two teams that could have, like, if they were playing different teams week one, I think there was a path for those two to meet in the AFC Championship game. I'm kind of bummed, but I didn't really care who won. Like, I wasn't cheering for a team. I did want the Jacksonville to go down and score a touchdown or a field goal at the end to send it to overtime, just because I wanted to watch more football. But the main takeaway I had from that game is Josh Allen he played
He's a freak.
Unbelievable. And he always has in the playoffs. Like, I know they've never made
and
it.
He broke his finger.
Yeah, and he hurt his knee at one point. Like, he hyperextended his knee on that touchdown that looked disgusting at first. I thought we kind of glossed over that throughout the game, but like that looked terrible in the moment.
Yeah.
He's one of the best playoff quarterbacks
up, man. He just stands right back up.
Yeah, he's huge. He's tough though.
None of his playoff losses are his fault.
No, he's always I think he has one of the highest quarterback ratings. I think it might be the highest in NFL history in the playoffs. I know he has the highest touchdown to turnover ratio in the NFL in playoff history, like minimum, whatever it is, 7 or 10 games or whatever. And that's why they can win. Like, if they had one more, if they had a receiver. They
have 3 left.
I think they walk to a Super Bowl. Like, I think they ease to Super Bowl.
I mean, yeah. If there was he doesn't have to be like a top 10 receiver. He just needs to be a little bit better than Shakir.
No. Yeah.
And that's not asking a lot.
What's a good? I'm trying to think who's a good comp?
T. Higgins.
I was thinking T. Higgins. T. Higgins is good, but if they had T. Higgins, I mean,
they had Michael Wilson.
Game over. Yeah, Michael. I think that's a great one. Michael Wilson. I think that's a great option. Some
Jacoby
guy
Myers,
top 24 receiver. Parker Washington.
Not another slot guy. That's all they have.
That's okay. That's fair. Yeah.
Get this guy a deep threat.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. Yeah. No, any of those guys. If you put any of those guys in the Bills, I think they're. I hope this offseason, regardless of what happens.
For the sake of Josh Allen, man.
Yes,
give him someone.
Trade for AJ Brown, even if it doesn't make sense financially. Bring in.
I think
someone.
They for sure should. They have a great offensive line.
Would be sick.
They need to fix it. Oh, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good
one. I think that'd be sick.
Yeah. How much do you believe in the Bills though? The rest of the way.
I do. I think I think the Broncos defense will give them some fits just because they don't have a ton of offensive firepower besides Josh Allen. He kind of has to do everything himself. But I just don't believe in the Broncos. I don't believe in the Broncos offense. I think the Bills are going to win. Mm-hmm. I do. I think the Bills are going to win, and then I think they can take on either Houston. They've already beaten New England, so I don't think they have a. I think they're fine against. I think these are the best team left in the AFC. If I had to pick one team in the AFC to make the Super Bowl, I'd pick them just because of Josh Allen.
I agree.
I do think they would lose to a lot of the NFC teams. Though.
So how do you kind of break down who you believe in more in the playoffs? Do you go because for me, I go I look at who's quarterback, who's on whose side of the ball in the quarterback position, and then the second thing I look at is defense. Is that kind of what you do?
And yeah, I'm the same way, and I think it's because of how. I wouldn't say that's how I think about it every year, but the way this year has panned out, especially in the AFC, it feels like that's kind of what it's been. It's hey, you either have a quarterback or you have a great defense.
Yeah.
I think Jacksonville was one of the few teams. I think Jacksonville and New England, but New England also has a really good quarterback. Jacksonville was one of those teams that was just solid all around.
That's how the Eagles were last year.
Yes, right. And that's why I like them is because Trevor Lawrence isn't a top 5 guy, but he's a top 12 guy this year. And they have a ton of pieces on defense that they create turnovers. They can create pressure. They have good DBs. So it's I'm the exact same way, quarterback and then defense.
So you look at quarterback and then you look at the good D.
You said it, not me.
That's what you basically told the audience.
No, you got some.
That's what I heard.
You said it first.
I look for quarterback first, and then I look at the defenses.
Yes.
Yeah, and you're yeah. No, we all know.
Wait, Dylan.
So what you're saying is Bo Nix isn't a top 15 quarterback.
No, I don't think
okay,
so
that's
I
why
just don't
you
believe in them.
the Bills.
They'll probably prove me wrong. They'll probably go out and beat the Bills by 20.
What scares me about the Broncos though is they've won some games they shouldn't have won. They should not be the 1 seed. I mean, they were down 20 against the Giants.
I don't know if I sent you this stat or not.
You probably did. You sent me a lot of stuff.
I think they're 5-2 when the offense scores less than 20 points.
Oh, you did not send me that. That's crazy.
It's insane. Like, again, I don't think that's sustainable in the playoffs against these good teams. It's similar to the Bears, how coming down 15 in the fourth quarter 5 times and winning this year, like that's not sustainable when you go up against the best teams in the NFL for 3 or 4 weeks in a row. And that's where I think I fall with the Broncos. Is I just don't know if they can put out a good enough offensive output for 3 straight games to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah. No, right? I agree. So especially it's good teams and the best teams in the league, because now you're going against the best quarterback in the league, and then if they somehow win there, then they play an MVP candidate or another defense that's the winning score of that game is going to be 9-6.
Right, exactly.
If it's Broncos Texans.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I'm excited for this week. All these games, like we were talking about, all these games are going to be awesome.
They're all going to be good. I'm pretty pumped with all the matchups this week. I don't know, what's your favorite matchup this week? Well, real quick before we do that, before we get to that, we didn't talk about Jags enough. Just real quick, great season. I think they are on the right path. I think they are. Future's bright. I think Trevor Lawrence showed you what you needed to show. That interception in that game sucked. You would love to see. They found their coach. You would love to see Trevor Lawrence lead that game-winning drive or game-tying drive, even if you lose in overtime. Hey, he put us in position to win. Little unlucky with the pick, tipped in the air. I mean, it was a tough throw to make. But they played great. I thought they were going to win that game through the majority of it, and I feel bad for them. They kind of got a bad draw having to play, winning your division and having to play the Bills kind of sucks. So it is what it is, and that's what the playoffs are. Some teams get a better
play them
draw
at some point.
Yeah, you got to play them at some point, and you could get the Steelers.
Yeah, you could get the Chargers.
That's what sucks is they win their division and they get the Bills, and then the team that comes in second in the division has to play the Steelers, and it's I probably would have rather been the wild card and played the Steelers, but it is what it is. It is what it is. So
yeah,
I don't know. Great season by Jacksonville. I think they got some pretty cool decisions to make with Travis Hunter. I think they need to move him to corner going forward. I think they found enough pieces on the defensive side or
100%.
of the ball. So
100%. Yeah. Their receivers Parker Washington, what an unbelievable find there.
Yeah.
And then once Travis Hunter went out, he became one of the best slot receivers, probably the best slot receiver in the game. And then, then you have your deep threat with Jacoby Myers, and then you still have Brian Thomas. So that's crazy.
Yep. So just to put a bow on the Broncos, I did look up, because I was curious. I looked up StatMuse. They are actually 4-0 when scoring less than 20 points on offense. So
wow,
that's not, again, I just don't think it's sustainable. So
I agree, especially when you're playing Josh Allen. I think you're gonna have to score over 20 points to win that game.
Correct. I completely agree.
Yeah. And to answer your question you asked me, my favorite matchup, man, they're all. I'm leaning Rams-Bears.
I'm the same way, actually.
And then a close second is probably Niners-Seahawks. But then again, I don't think the Niners can win it all. So I'm actually really curious to see how Drake May looks against the Texans defense,
those are my two. Same way.
Yeah. Especially with how you laid out, you want to see what Drake May does against that defense. And I want to as well.
Yeah.
But, Bills Broncos is going to be a good game. Just watching Josh Allen in general is a good time.
Fun. Yeah, it's fun. You're going to have fun watching that game, regardless of what happens. And that's why it's entertaining. Whereas Houston, New England, I'm curious to that's why I'm curious. It literally could be 9-6. And it's not going to be a ton of fun to watch, but you'll learn a lot, right? Which is good, which is kind of what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
So
it's going to be 17-9.
Probably. Yeah. That might be, I'm curious. We'll get there when we do our bets. I'm curious what the over-under is for that game. So,
yeah.
Do you want to do real quick LIV You want to give your thoughts and comments on LIV, or do you want to do that next week?
No, let's do that now because the PGA Tour season starts this week. It actually starts tomorrow. We're recording this Wednesday night, January 14th. Just to timestamp it, but
8:50 p.m. my time, Central Time.
9:50 Eastern Time. If you didn't know. But Brooks is back. I love that. I think I saw a lot of things today about, I guess this past week about, even the past few years about how like no one knows how this is going to happen. And then all of a sudden Brooks says he wants to come back and he is one of the best players in the world. He's one of the most popular players in the world. He's won 6 majors, I think. And
which is always crazy whenever that stat pops up.
Yeah.
6 majors. Like I never think of him winning 6 majors.
No, I mean, it's, like when these guys went to LIV, they only play like 8 to 10 times a year. And some of them are on the international series, which is the Asian tour. And it's, they kind of fall out of the spotlight. But I just have never understood why it is okay if you play in the DP World Tour, formerly known as the European Tour, why that's okay. And you can still play on the PGA Tour. But if you play for LIV, that's not okay. And maybe it's because they were trying to poach players, but all these players are independent contractors. They're not until this year, where the PGA Tour and the Korn Ferry Tour are getting stipends for travel and all this, because every player has to pay it out of their pocket that people don't know about. And what the LIV Tour did for the players on the PGA Tour is they somehow found money, they added millions of dollars into all these purses. They've done these elevated events. They, like I said before, they added these stipends, and there's just more opportunity for guys on the PGA Tour to make more money. And now, I think, do you know exactly? Do you have it pulled up exactly what they need? Like what?
I could pull it up, but it's like they need to have won a major in the last from 2021 to
2022.
Or was it 2022 to 2025? $5 million donation.
Mm-hmm.
You lose your equity rights for 5 years, which could turn out to be. And I didn't fully understand the equity aspect of it. Like I didn't realize players could gain equity the PGA Tour. I didn't know there was like a program for that. I think those are the main 3, right? Which is insane.
Those are the main 3. And I think it is insane. And I'm trying to put myself in like a PGA Tour player who got offered to go to LIV. Like a guy like Wyndham Clark. He is not the most popular guy on tour. He's probably the most unpopular guy on tour, actually, especially what he did at the US Open last year. And I think people just run with that again. I think it's just a big narrative. I actually have played with a few guys who said that Wyndham's like not the most fun guy to be around. But anyway, I just think it's a little steep. And I feel like the PGA Tour is too worried about what's fair instead of just thinking of like what's going to make our tour the best. And I think what would make their tour the best is if the best players could play week to week. But there also needs to be they just need to figure out, God, it's tough, man. I don't have the answer. I just think the way players come back, that can come back is like a little ridiculous. But if you make them go through the qualifying process, like going back to Q school and all that, then I'm all for it. And I think everyone would be all for it. And I guarantee you a lot of those guys probably would struggle doing that because it's very tough and there's so many good golfers and it's almost like it needs to have some kind of expansion because of how many great players there are. But I'm glad there's a kind of we're finally seeing some kind of direction for LIV guys to play on the PGA Tour, but it seems like it's going to take a few more years for all that to even settle. But the like Rory changed his tune. A lot of these other guys who are like anti-live have really like kind of walked back what they've said. But it's just interesting, and there's just a lot of unneeded drama, and it's just like, yo, let's just get the best players playing.
And I think that's me, like someone who I don't follow LIV super closely. Like I follow golf, but I don't watch every tournament, right? Like I'm not sitting there on a Thursday with it on, and I watch the majors, I watch the players, I watch a lot of the big tournaments. I tune in for the end of the year FedEx, playoffs, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Majors,
yes. Coming from someone who doesn't like, I follow it, but not super closely. I kind of like your idea of like, hey, go through Q school again. Like, go through Q school. Like, and these guys like Brooks and Bryson, like those guys it'd be easy for them, right? And that's kind of the point, right? Is you want those guys to come back because, like you said, you want the best players out there. I want these guys. Like, that's why the majors are fun, is because these guys are all playing in the tournaments again. And you like, the competition's tougher. There's more guys that you think can win. But I get the Wyndham Clark thing. Like, I saw what he said, and he's like, he's torn because why didn't I leave, get my, get $100 million and then just come back in 2 or 3 years? Like, it's kind of bullshit. Like, I get that aspect of it. But at the same time, like, it's better for your tour if these guys come back and play on it. Like, it'll be better for everyone in the end, right? Like, yeah, you might not get that $100 million that you turned down. But you didn't want to go anyway. Like, you didn't want to go to the LIV Tour anyway. Like, you were never going to be a guy who wanted to go play on. You wanted to play for the PGA Tour because that is the tour you grew up loving. The tour you grew up, that was your dream. That was
essentially
your goal.
The only tour.
Correct, right? Like, that was the goal, right? And I think I'd be thinking about it as more of like, what's better for the future of than trying to think back of like, you can't change the past, right? You can't change your thoughts and your, if you turn down LIV, like, you just got to look at it in the future. Like, hey, how's this going to benefit me going forward, more so than looking backwards? I don't know. That's kind of my thought on it. Like, I love that there's a path for him to come back. I think the stipulations are a little ridiculous. Like, they basically made it so 4 people could come back and that was it. So like, that like that,
well,
like
they wanted like only 4 could qualify. That's Cam Smith,
correct,
Bryson, Brooks, and John Rahm. There's only 4 that could qualify for that, and
correct.
One's coming back. Like, Bryson said, he's playing on the LIV Tour this year. Cam Smith was like, I made my decision, I'm here. And then John Rahm kind of said the same thing.
Yeah, I think Cam Smith, John Rahm were both kind of like, we did this for the not only money, but like, we didn't want to play in 20 tournaments. We didn't have to want to travel to 25 tournaments a year and play every week, every other week. I think Bryson will find his way back to the tour sooner rather than later. Like, I think he misses playing the highest. Like, you can tell when he's in the majors and stuff, like how much he loves playing with the rest of these guys. So I think he'll find his way back. But I'm glad there's a barrier. I'm glad there's something. I'm glad that there's like, I'm pumped that Brooks is coming back to the tour. I think it's awesome. I think it's good for golf in general.
Yeah. No, for sure. And there are a lot bigger issues that aren't headline issues with the PGA Tour. Like, I played in a Monday qualifier. I played the guy who played in the Masters and was leading after the first round. And then there was another 2-time winner. This is for a Corn Ferry event, by the way. Guy who was leading the Masters after one round, and a 2-time PGA Tour winner was playing in this qualifier. And so obviously there's going to be ups and downs in every career, but the bottom half of the PGA Tour is a little ridiculous with, the requirements and everything, and like the status levels and all that. I mean, this could be a whole other podcast, but they're always going to look at their bottom line and be like, you know what, Brooks is going to put butts in seats. And even though they don't sit during golf tournaments, but you know what I mean? It's that's step one. And, golf has been changing.
Like,
golf's
this
been,
tournament, is he playing?
He's playing, not playing Sony. He's playing Farmers and Waste Management.
That's what it is. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, so, they're looking at their bottom line. They want Bryson as well, but Bryson, said his piece already. And it's going to be changing. Like, this has been changing so much. I think more towards the better, because there's so many good golfers and there's so many good personalities. And I just think of how they handle the personalities and all that is, it could be done a lot better. I'll just say that.
I agree. I think that's every organization, every sport, like there's things that you could do better, you could do worse. Like I do think the PGA Tour, like throughout this whole process, I think the PGA Tour has been a little bit ridiculous with how strict they've been on everything. Like but I also like I kind of get where they're coming from, but I don't know. I just want the best players to play as many weekends as possible. That's how I feel.
Yeah, that's what everyone
wants. If this is a pathway towards that, that's then I'm good. I don't watch LIV. I tried to watch it once. I couldn't do it. It's not my thing. Like, and maybe it's because I grew up watching the PGA Tour, and I think that's how a lot of people are. But
yeah, you don't like change. That's fine.
Yeah, exactly. Creature of habit.
Yeah, which is fine. But all right, let's do some picks. Let's make a parlay really quick.
Let's do it. I think for a parlay, we need to do let's pick one leg for every game. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's start with Bills Broncos.
Okay.
Let's see.
God, this one's tough because you don't really trust. What's Shakir's?
I was looking at Shakir. It's 49.5. I kind of like
receptions.
That.
His receptions are 5. What, he had 11 catches last week?
5.5.
5.5.
Yeah, I think we hammer the 5.5.
I know, but if Surtain, like, is Surtain gonna be on him? Like,
is he gonna be on Brandon Cooks? Brandon Cooks is 2.5. But I think he had like 3 catches.
Yeah, he only had 3. I think Kincaid only had 2 too. Kincaid had a bad game. Kincaid, ever since he's been back from injury, has been
Brandon Cooks had
nowhere to be found.
Went 358. I mean, we could go Brandon Cooks over 29.5 receiving yards.
I do like that. I also like Cortland Sutton.
I don't.
Okay. I was gonna say I kind of like his 48.5, but
I'd almost rather do RJ Harvey rushing.
I like Brandon Cooks 20.5. They're gonna have to throw the ball. Like, someone's gonna have to catch the ball. He just needs to catch one pass.
And you know Brandon Cooks, that's 1 catch. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I like that.
Roll with that. Brandon Cooks over 29.5.
You could do
all right,
TD scorer as well. We didn't even look at those.
It's tough.
Josh Allen's only minus 120. Josh Allen's only minus 120.
I like Brandon Cooks.
Okay, let's do breakups. Let's move on. Yeah, you got to pick it and stick with it. You just got to forget about it. All right.
I mean, Christian McCaffrey is minus 125 for a touchdown.
I'm in. I'm in.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. That was easy. Move on. All right.
Texans, Patriots.
Yeah.
Man, this one's tough too. God, the offenses are just.
It's just. I don't even have options for receiving for the Texans.
I don't mind. I wouldn't mind doubling down with Ramondre. He seemed to get basically he got a large majority of the. I think that's, again, first playoff game. Let's give our veterans the ball who we trust. I kind of like it.
Well, Vrabel,
the same as he was last week. Yeah.
Yeah, let's run it. It is
Houston's D, though. You want to run it?
I do love that Houston D. Yeah, let's run 38.5.
Okay.
You like that?
Yeah, I like that. I do like that one. All right. Rams, Bears. You got to go Colson Loveland here, right? After the game he had. And whatever his over is for receiving yards.
55.5?
Yes.
55.5?
He had 130 or something.
All right. I'm in.
Or Puka. Or you just stick with
Puka over 100?
I mean, he did it last week. He's done it. His hit is over. He's averaging like 115 yards a game in the playoffs in his career.
You don't like a Swift touchdown?
I don't like a Swift touchdown. I will also wouldn't mind Luther Burden receiving yards.
Receiving
37.5.
38.5.
I got 37.5.
DraftKings?
DraftKings. Yeah.
I kind of like that. That's like one fastball from Caleb.
Yeah, it's like 2. I honestly think he hit that on the first drive last week. I think he only ended up with like 50 or 60, but he came out the gates hot.
Well, let me check.
You like that?
Hold on. Does he play for Bears?
Bears. Colby Parkinson, 19.5 also. He's
Burden
hit
had 42
last week. Colby Parkinson, 19.5. I know he had 2 catches last week. He's hit over 20 yards. And because I was looking at this as a play, I played it as a straight last week, but I was looking at it for our group chat parlay. He has hit over 20 yards in 8 of his last 8 games. And he's 19.5.
Could it be 19 or can it be 9?
9, I don't know, but he only had 2 catches and he hit it on that last touchdown he caught. So like,
sounds like
he didn't have a lot of targets either. So it's
what
tough.
about DJ Moore, 28.5?
Yeah,
DJ Moore had 64 yards last game.
I know, but he's laid some duds this year.
Yeah, but a lot of but one catch, dude. All he does is go long.
I know. I'll let you pick this one. I'll let you pick this one.
Man. All right, I'm between DJ Moore and Colby Parkinson.
Man.
Let's go DJ Moore.
Okay. 20.5. All right, my parlay odds plus 1,110. Oh, you got to place this for me.
I do. All right.
Mike and I made a side bet on the Houston Steelers game, and whoever was right has to pay the parlay fee. So
yeah, well, I'm putting 20 down for both of us. So
how much?
I'll up it. Yeah, so I'm placing it.
What does it pay out?
Right.
What does it pay out?
With 480. So
no, I'll take it. Okay, it's nice. Take it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Now let's do our straight bets, and we got to get out of here. We went long. All right. I went 3-0 last week, bringing my record to 28-26, and I go first because
what a comeback.
It was good. Yeah, it was. It was start off good, and then real rough in the middle, but we're back to positive. So, all right. I go first. I'm going to take I have to take the Bills plus 1.5 based on how I've been talking on this podcast. So I don't think I have a choice.
I like that. I sent you, I did a parlay for all the games and I sent it to you, and I'm pretty sure you said that you liked all my picks and then you would basically pick all of them, you know?
The only one I did not, I think it was Houston, because I think you took Patriots minus 3.5 where I was not sure about that.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you said you weren't sure about that game yet. All right. Mm-hmm. So the 49ers are plus 7.5. But if I get them at plus 7.5, or Jesus, they're plus 7 at, oh my God, dude. They're plus 7 at plus 100. So if I do plus 7.5 at minus 124, is that okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
All right.
So you take
I'll do that.
Niners plus 7.5. I like that one.
Yeah.
I have plus 7 at plus 100. I probably will take that.
Yeah.
Niners plus 7.5. You said what were the odds? Minus 125.
124. Yeah.
124. Okay. All right. I will go. I know it's going to be cold, but I'm going to go Bears Rams over 48.5. I just think that the game has the potential. I think both defenses are a little bit lackluster. I think that game has a potential to be like a 38-34 shootout. So I'm going to go Rams Bears over 48.5 at minus 110.
Okay. Well, that being said, I'll take the Rams at minus 3.5 at minus 118.
Feeling that was coming.
When you said Rams Bears, I was like, oh, is he going to take mine?
So you're taking them minus 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
What were the odds?
Minus 118.
Okay. All right, and then my last one. I'm going to go 49ers Seahawks over 45.5.
Oh, you're loving these overs.
I mean, a lot of them hit this weekend too.
No, that probably hit. It's wasn't their last game a shootout?
No, I think the last game was, I thought it was going to be a shootout, and it was not a shootout at all. It was like 12-9.
Wow.
So.
Wow. Man, the over-under for the Patriots-Texans is 40.5.
I know, it's tough, though. Like, that game could literally be 14-7.
What's the city New England plays in? It's Foxborough.
Mm-hmm. We got the weather.
Yep. Sunday, it's 65% chance of rain and snow. Do I want to do this? All right, give me the under 40.5 for that.
I kind of like that. I think I like the under more than the over in that game.
Man, I just know someone's going to drive down the field first drive and score, and it's going to scare me.
I mean, you saw these. I mean, Houston's defense is unbelievable. It's just, like, you saw how CJ Stroud looked last week. Like,
yeah, I mean, both those games would have hit the under.
Mm-hmm. I can't believe the Steelers Houston ended up hitting over. I can't believe that bet hit. That was nuts.
That's crazy.
I almost cashed it out at like $6. They offered me a cash out at like $6. I almost took it just to save some sort of face. But all right, so let me read them down real quick. So Mike had Niners plus 7.5 at -124, Rams -3.5 at -118, Houston, New England under 40.5 at -115, and I had Bills plus 1.5 at -118, Bears, Rams over 48.5 -110, and then Niners Seahawks over 45.5 at -105.
Cool. And follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Traveling Athlete Pod, and on X at Athlete Pod.
It was a long one. Sorry for going long on that one, guys. Apologies.
Oh, shit. We gotta do it again, dude. Left the lens cap out.